Whew. Wow. We are here. We are literally here. It's the first journal entry into the Dear Me series. Now, I think it's important to kind of reflect who we are as a person. Who do we identify ourselves as? You know, and it doesn't have to be one specific thing. It can be whatever your heart desires. For those that don't know me, my name is Greg. Also go by Greg the Visual. Um, for those that know who I am, they know that I wear many, many hats: father, friend, brother, son, photographer, graphic designer, you know, all these different things. But at the same time, who do I see myself as? Who do I see 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Where am I going to actually go? What do I want to see myself accomplish before I go? All these questions are asked because it makes me think when I hear the question, if not now, then when? So, see, as this whole project, the things that I do, I've always wanted to help people. I've always wanted to really be an advocate for those dealing with mental health and dealing with their emotional problems. It's one of those things that don't really get discussed too often. And then when it does, especially within the black community, it kind of gets pushed and swept under the rug, where we're always just supposed to be super tough, be able to just handle anything, and never really shed tears about it or never talk about it. We kind of just ignore it and just move forward. Now, do I pride ourselves in being able to get through anything? Hell yeah. But we don't need to sit here and struggle knowing we're all dealing with mental health and dealing with different uh, different issues that are going on within their home, within their community, you know, even dealing with it outside the country. It's just a whole list of things that can go on. Now, Dear Me started as a project of mine where it's more so like a spoken word, kind of poetry esque in a sense, of me just kind of writing a letter from the perspective of my future self to me right now in the current present day. Now, what does that mean to me? It's kind of being able to motivate myself to know that my future self is watching me in a sense. You know, every decision that I make, every thought, choice, action, all those words that fit, show me where I want to be, especially before, you know, time is up, you know. And to me, the only relevancy of time is when you're first born and when you're gone. So I feel like it's important for me to start to value myself and being able to value and appreciate the things that I have going for me, but also take it a step further and not just become comfortable with where I'm sitting at and really push to exceed my expectations. And now it's more so just focusing on being emotionally in tune, you know, and actually really understanding who you are, understanding your emotions, understanding your insides and your out. That's what all this is for. And then me just being able to kind of give it a platform to showcase and talk about, you know, being able to have a safe space and open dialogue about these issues is truly important. And I want to be able to share it with anybody, no matter the age, gender, race, whatever your demographics are. I want to be able to share this with everybody. So when I hear the terms of if not now, then when, it's like I can sit here and make all the excuses in the world as to why I can't get something done. Now we're going to change that. Asking me, like, if not now, then when? Because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. You never know what may happen in your life that could halt you from really chasing your dreams, and those kind of things. Now, overall, within this particular dynamic of what I want to do, is I want to introduce this, which is the journal entries, which is just me basically going through, talking about my own life experiences and being able to help find some key lessons that I learned from it and be able to then share those same lessons with you. As you guys are listening to what I'm doing, it's kind of like we're in this together, But I also am going to be branching out where you might see some shorts, or like, TikToks, Reels, those more short videos of me doing more educational purposes, really teaching by definition what something means that you may be experiencing, or you may know someone else that's experiencing, or its own educational things that can actually help you with, like, coping, for example, or any of those things as well. And then hopefully I can continue to write the same spoken word entries, as well as eventually developing some short films. So if anybody is interested in doing short films with me, then let me know. I'm really am trying to change the world one person at a time. And just being able to kind of sit here and open up is very difficult for me, especially trying to get used to being in front of the camera and actually talking. But it's important. It's a really important step for myself, but it's also a really important step that can show that anybody can do this, So just going into it, one important thing that's really been standing out to me within my own life recently is managing my health. As I get older, I'm starting to realize that a lot of things that we hear from our parents or other, like, adults saying, like, oh, my body feels like this, my body feels like that, it's true. And even though I'm only 25, given at the current time this is happening, my body is going through it. And it's a result of many things, honestly, stemming from being an athlete practically my entire life. Honestly, I've been probably playing sports since, like, first grade. So years upon years of wear and tear on my body. Now that, like, I consider myself a retired athlete, my body is starting to feel the effects of all of those things. Then you mix in stress, and that comes from all over. You have stress within, like, your relationships with your family, stress with work, trying to make ends meet, all these different things that you might be going through. That added stress takes a toll on your body, and I've come to accustomed to realizing that. Recently, I actually been going through, like, doctor to doctor, checking out just to make sure, like, I'm okay. But dealing with what I was dealing with, it had me frightened. I'm not even gonna lie. It scared me because a lot of things that were happening to me have never happened to me before. And it's getting to a point where I now have to realize I need to really start paying attention to me. Really paying attention to what my body is telling me, Can't be carrying all the weight of the world on my shoulders like how I used to do. Can't always have the S on my chest because, even Superman retires, takes a break, goes on vacation, does things like that, They can't always save the world 24/7 because their bodies aren't equipped to doing it. And that's literally what I feel now. I shouldn't be feeling tired throughout the day, like all day, every day. My body shouldn't be achy and sore. You know, I shouldn't feel like uh, I'm not eating enough. I shouldn't feel like I'm not hydrating myself enough. You know, all these little key things that we don't even think about on a regular basis now comes into effect. And it's scary and it's a lot that you have to kind of put into, but it's enough to really go in and really understand you. Now, being in this particular situation that I've kind of haven't seen myself in before, at least not to this magnitude, I started finding different ways to kind of cope with it in a sense. But a lot of it is more so now is the change of my mindset. And I think that is really important and really crucial into your healing process is understanding your mindset because if you're always thinking negative, you know, there's a little term that I like to think about is like it's called the domino effect. Now, the domino effect is pretty much just like exactly how you would see it before. It's a chain reaction of things, but except this case I define it as like a chain reaction of thoughts where one thought of something happening that hasn't even happened to you, but you assume the worst. So let's just say, as an example, you aren't making enough money at your job. You're not getting the wages that you need, so you think that you're not going to be able to provide for your family. Now, if you know you can't provide for your family, you don't, you start to think what's going to happen with the relationship of your family and the dynamic of those things, and then so on and so forth. It's literally a trickle down effect of one negative thought and just assuming that everything that comes after it is just going to be another negative thought. So now being able to kind of change that perspective and change, ooh, excuse me, to change that perspective and be able to really look at yourself and know that things are going to be bad, but you got to be okay and comfortable with the bad to be able to look at the future and know that you're going to be okay regardless of how bad your situation is. You know, it's better to be able to look at yourself and believe that things are going to be okay than to just sit here and always think negative, 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 because then your body is going to reflect that same thought. Those same negative things are going to then destroy your body down. It's just going to break your body down. You know, you're not going to be able to move the same way. You know, you're not going to be able to sleep comfortably. All these different thoughts going through your mind. You want to be able to channel that energy now into something good and actually taking time to choose you in the end. Right now, for me, I've been shying away from doing what I felt like I love to do because I feel like also I have all these other responsibilities that I feel like I need to take care of. However, a lot of those things they're not on me, but I don't have to necessarily do it. You know, I love to help people, but sometimes I might help a little too much and not really focus on what needs to be done for me. You know, that same domino effect way of thinking has stressed me out even more, has my anxiety going up, has me basically into the doctors for almost passing out because I'm stressing myself out. I'm stressing my body out. You know, I'm not eating, I'm not doing these things that are nourishing to me. So now I got to be able to do those things and be able to figure out the best way to go about doing it so then that way I can be happy in the end. And that's literally the key to life at this point. It's the only sad part about doing shit outside. Just Just a bug, just in your face. Anyway, I still think it's just really important. I think to be able to understand you and really choose yourself first, in a sense, to really take care of you. I'm getting to a point now where I really want to accomplish my goals. I really want to be able to share in my healing process with people, be able to, share my gifts and talents of being a photographer and graphics and channeling all that energy into spreading love and spreading peace and awareness and, being able to show that we can do this together. My healing process, yes, is on my own. There's a lot of things I have to do with me, but it's important that if we can share in the healing process and you know that someone else is doing better, that should make your spirit feel good too. So, honestly, with all that being said, that's pretty much what this is. You know, it's what it is in a nutshell. Just to be able to really understand our now. What do we need to do now in order for our future to be better? And it starts within, and then once we're good within, we branch out and we help everyone else. So, there's a little segue into the beginning. Look forward to more entries like this. Some going to be longer, some going to be shorter. They're not always going to be negative. They're not always going to be positive. So just take each one as is. Be able to really take some time to reflect on your own. You listen to me, you hear what I say, but go have these conversations with yourself. Ask yourself, if not now, then when? Because time waits for no one, but all you have is time. So at this point, at this rate, go be happy. Go choose you. Go do the things you need to do to make yourself happy and enjoy your life while you're still here. It's me, Greg the Visual, signing off. Thanks again.